for stability and things like that. So, but I couldn't really tell her what I wanted to tell her because two, one, I was at work, and two, she was Caucasian, and that's not hoodoo is a closed practice. They don't have any right, but that's how I know that they were being taught this stuff by these slaves. And they were allowed to practice this stuff by as long as it was being taught to them. And you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then she's with a black man, so that could have been he could have introduced her to that as well, because that's a hoodoo practice. We all do it on the holiday, on the New Year. We want to cook black eyed peas and greens for luck and cornbread for stability and blase blase. So he could have told her about it, but either way it goes, it's like they they tell you that it's evil and it's dark magic and all of this stuff, but they secretly practice it. They will practice it too, or they'll use it to benefit them and then tell you not to do it. But yeah, so I say all of that to say that it is hard to be spiritual because you're not really understood, and then you have all of this stigma tied to what you believe, and then you have people forcing down your throat what they think you should believe, and they want to say your belief system is wrong and bad, and all of this stuff, and then people fail to educate themselves. And so instead of them taking the time to educate themselves on what you believe, they just judge you and tell you that what you believe is wrong, or they run from you because they think you some type of evil witch and you're brewing this potion to kill the whole world, you know, and not really understanding the power and the beauty. Let me tell y'all, my kid's father, me and him got a love hate relationship because he gets on my nerve. Like, we clash on so many levels, but on so many levels we click, and we keep that friction in our relationship, and I think that helps to keep our relationship uh it's never boring in our relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always just something crazy going on with us, because how we clash but we complement each other at the same time. It's unexplainable. But I thought that I maybe needed to hide what I believed from him when I first started practicing, because he was raised in a family that they're religious people. His mother was a Sunday school teacher. Like, this is the type of life that he was raised in. Very spiritual, very religious. Not spiritual as in, like spiritual practices, but spiritual as in religious, like Christian faith system he was raised in. And so I felt like, he would definitely come at me like, no, this ain't gonna work. Like, I don't know what you got going on, but no, we raising our kids to believe in the Bible and Christianity and all that stuff. But when he found out that I was no longer practicing Christianity and stuff anymore, he jumped on the bandwagon so fast, it made me feel like he had already been not practicing, but maybe we was hiding from each other. But he jumped on the bandwagon so fast, and it blew my mind. It blew my mind. It was just like he understood. He was like, "Oh yeah, this what's up." Like, and then as he started to see me grow and gain more momentum in my practice and learning, like, he's coming along with me. Like, I got him wearing crystals and all of this stuff. Like, he know what time it is because he see it. He sees the power. He's not afraid of it. He doesn't think that it's evil. He sees me. He sees me in my practice. He sees me honor my ancestors. He sees the growth that I've gained since I've left Christianity. He see all of the things that I've been able to manifest for myself. Whereas before, when I was going to church every Sunday and crying and begging God to help me, I was always lacking. I was always repeating the same thing every Sunday. I'm going to church to beg and pray for God to help me. But when I stopped begging and I started understanding that I have been given all, God has already given me all of the power and knowledge and wisdom that I need to be able to manifest for myself what it is I want. I stopped begging and I started manifesting things. I started understanding who I was. I started understanding the divine feminine energy inside of me. I started to understand that that divine feminine energy had power, and she was very powerful, and that the Bible was lying to me when it told me that Eve was the reason why the earth is the way that it is, and why man fell short and fell from the grace of God. And that's not true. He never really had the grace he never was really in the graces of God. It was the woman. Everything comes through her. Everything comes through her. So the BS, the amount of BS that I've been taught my whole life and living by, that had me boxed in, that had me confused, that had me just living in a chaotic way of life and thought process, and everything was just never working for me in my life. Once I started to stand to go against these thoughts and these beliefs that I had been taught my whole life, and these ideas, and I started to go against them and rebel. I have Aquarius as my ascendant, as my rising sign, so rebellion comes natural for me. And all it took was that spark, and I started to rebel against all of that stuff. And I'm like, no, this is not right. This doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't feel good. There's no way that this can be real. And I mean, it is. It's real because whatever we belief is your number one powerful weapon. Even in Christianity, you're taught that your faith, your belief. They understood the people that wrote the Bible, the secret society, because that's not what they're not gonna tell you that the people that translated the Bible and rewrote the Bible, King James version, were Illuminati. They were secret society people. They're not gonna tell you what they want you to know is that that you need to have faith. But they don't tell you exactly why you need to have the faith, because they know that the faith is the power. As long as you believe in something and you put that energy to it, you activate it and it becomes real. It becomes true. It doesn't matter what it is. Your energy, your belief, your power, your focus, your energy is what's going to activate it and make it real. So of course there are millions of people that are converting to Christianity because they feel like, oh, Jesus saved me before I was saved. This was going on and this was going on and that was going on. That's because you took your belief system and your faith and you put it into what you believe would happen in your life if you chose to take this path, or you practice this belief, this religious belief. When you put your faith in and you believe that this was what was going to happen, it did. Whatever you believe in will manifest for you. Whatever you can visualize for yourself, whatever you have faith in, whatever you know within your heart and your soul is true or will happen, it will. So, of course, Jesus is the way and he's the light and he's the truth. Of course, if you believe that, he's gonna be. And everybody that believes other things, they feel the same way because it's what they believe. Your power is in your belief. So when you're working in hoodoo and you're doing your works, your power and your belief is what's gonna fuel your work. What if you believe that it's going to work, it will work. And I think it's always good as a practitioner when you're doing work for someone else, you have to do a faith test, basically, is what I'm going to call it. You need to be able to make sure that this person doesn't have an inch of doubt on your work, because The smallest amount of doubt that that person have can ruin everything. That even though your intention is powerful, and you may still get some work through, because you just have that powerful backing from your ancestors, and then you have your own spiritual, you have that spiritual strength. You may still be able to get a lot of work through, but just to cover yourself, because a lot of times we do work for people and then they doubt it, or they second guess the work. They have a little small mustard seed amount of disbelief or disfaith, and it throws the whole work off. So especially work that you have to give to them to finish up. You know what I'm saying? If you got to turn it over to them and put it in their hands, and they have like the smallest amount of belief in it, disbelief, they're going to mess it up. They're going to mess the work up. So let me go, you guys. But I did want to just come on here and just, talk to you guys, because it's hard for women like me, when it comes to friend circles and in dating. It's hard because people are afraid of us because of what we practice, and they think that all hoodoo is people just putting hexes and roots on people, and that's not the case. That's not true. A lot of times, most times, people are not the only, the rule for any practitioner is that you never put any type of dark work or hex or roots, on somebody if it's unjustified. It has to be justified. We don't just be out here putting roots on people unless we're getting paid to do it, because it takes a lot of energy. Dark magic is very energy consuming. It drains you. That's why you have to constantly keep yourself cleansed when you're doing, dark work, dark magic. You have to constantly keep yourself cleansed and protected. Like, it takes a lot. So we're not just out here willy-nilly putting hexes on people. There are some very dark practitioners that are very, their hearts are dark, so they don't mind just being out here just throwing work at people. But if they were wise, they wouldn't, because whenever you do any type of dark work, it has to be justified. If not, then karma comes back for you. So we understand that. So we're not just out here doing that. And then if you've wronged us in any way, if you know that I'm a root worker, and you know that, like I told the guy when I finally told, yeah, I'm a root worker, when he asked me and I told him, yeah. But I broke it down to him. I said, I'm a good worker. I do healing work. But I will get you. If you fuck over me in any way, I will get you. It's no secret. I'm gonna get you. So if you know this, then you should know to be on your best behavior. If you have any ill intentions towards me, or you know that you are capable of doing something evil and hurtful and foul to me, your best bet is to stay away from me. So that's why I don't have any problems with making it known. I am a root worker. I do practice magic. And I will fuck your world up if you come for me, if you do something foul. I have no problem with making that known, because I want you to be on your best behavior, because I don't want to do that to you. I don't want to come for you. I don't want to have to do that to you. I don't want to have to, but I will. And I'm pretty powerful in my work. I'm not to be played with. And I know when somebody is throwing work at me, and I know exactly how to send it back to them. But, I'm not claiming to be like this all-powerful root worker, but my goal is to be. I want to be one of the best at what I do. I want to be one of the best at my craft. I want to be able to heal people and help people on levels that doctors can't, pastors can't, psychologists can't. I want to be a powerful worker. That is my goal. So if it takes me having to be confined to myself and not having that network of people, then maybe that's what it takes. I just wish that people wouldn't be so quick to judge and have this negative stereotype about our practice, because if people really took the time to go back and look into Christianity and the start of Christianity, people would be horrified that they are even practicing this religion. Do you know how many people were slaughtered because they wanted to practice their own beliefs, but the Christians wanted these people to convert? First, they were killing Christians because they didn't want they didn't want it to be any form of Christianity. And then once they started believing, then they started killing people that were practicing their own traditions and they weren't converting to Christianity. It is so much horror behind this spiritual belief system that people have not even really researched and looked into, because they've been told by their pastors and their parents their whole lives that you don't question God. So if you have any doubt in your mind about something you're reading, or if you feel any type of certain feeling, like, I'm not gonna lie, when I started reading the Bible as an adult and I started being able to better understand it, in the back of my mind, I would tell myself all the time that what kind of God was he that he destroyed and killed babies, that he hurt people? Like, every time he got mad, he was fucking stuff up. He was destroying stuff left and right. Like, this is not a long-suffering God. This is not a patient, loving, kind God. This is not the God that we're supposed to be following, that's setting an example for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fruits of the Spirit. The Bible tells you the fruits of the Spirit, but where in the Bible is it showing us that our God has these same fruits of the Spirit that he wants us to have? Long suffering, patient, kind, all of this stuff. Humble. Like, no, he wasn't like that. Like, he was arrogant. He was selfish. He was jealous hearted. No other gods before him. He had some very serious anger issues. And I'm talking about anger, not just being mad. He was angry. Like, I don't get it. Like, people don't question any of that. Like, you just blindly follow this stuff and you go against your own critical thinking and your own mental capacities to believe this elementary level type of stuff from the Bible. Like, Genesis is purely elementary. It's describing the creation of the universe in a very elementary way. And you don't question any of that. But you would rather sit up here and judge somebody that believes in honoring their ancestors, because they know that the ancestors that they're honoring are the very ones that took care of them and loved them and was the sole source of survival for them when they were on this physical plane. Now they've transitioned over to the spiritual plane, and I'm just supposed to forget about them. I'm not supposed to acknowledge these people anymore because they're no longer here in the physical plane with me, but yet they are still here. Their energy is still here. It never dies. So because my people understood that was labeled and called worshiping the dead. And then it was made to be looked at in an evil way. So yeah, but I'm gonna get on off of here. If you like the type of content that I'm bringing, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys continue to support. Leave me a comment, share my videos, and then also follow me on my podcast, because I have a podcast as well. It's called Goddess of Essence, and it's on Anchor, Spotify, and Google Podcast. And just y'all help me, because I'm trying to build up my page. I'm trying to build up my community, because hopefully I can create a community of like-minded people like me, that are transitioning from the religion, into spirituality, and that really wants the authentic, organic experience of being spiritual and learning the practice and the arts, like the spiritual practices and belief systems of our ancestors. So but yeah, thank y'all for watching. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe, share my videos.